I seen you posted a review on Michael. It's gonna be a while before I can see that one. So what'd you think about it?
It's funny. This is the next one in a long line of movies that are becoming just an incredibly controversial topic to discuss online. I'm sure you've seen some of it on Twitter,
Oh
just
yeah.
about like some critics giving it half a star out of five, some people that love Michael Jackson giving it 5 stars. I always think, I have to remind myself that film Twitter is a huge echo chamber.
Yes.
So it's like, you get off Twitter and talk to regular people on the street, and they have much more balanced opinions, it seems. And so I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I
Like
think I gave
most.
it I gave it a 3 out of 5. I think, I like Michael Jackson's music. But I think a lot of these biopics we've been getting recently have kind of just followed a very similar formula. And it's one of those things where, this one, Bohemian Rhapsody before this, and a couple others before that, when you find out that the estate of that famous person is involved or the band itself is involved, a lot of it gets sanitized. It's only really going over the glory days. So I think as just like a 2-hour piece of entertainment, you could see a lot worse. It's enjoyable enough, but it's like never going to watch it again, probably. And we'll
Really.
see if that part two ever gets made. But I don't know what they're going to cover, because obviously he's a guy that was no stranger to scandal and controversy. So don't know how they're going to tackle that. So it's not one that I would say run out to go see. But I mean, if you're a big fan, if you like biopics, like, I'm sure people will enjoy it.
I really love Straight Outta Compton,
Mm,
and growing up, that really was the kind of music. Like I was into. My dad showed me a lot of the rap songs, showed me some old rock songs and stuff. That's kind of the music I listened to growing up.
yeah.
Definitely Michael Jackson, Prince, but Bohemian Rhapsody or Queen rather. I've
Yeah.
never really listened to them. Discovered them actually after the movie came out, and I never even seen the movie. But Straight Outta Compton, it is fabricated in certain favors and stuff, especially more towards Ice Cube. The movie is actually told a lot more through, O.J. Jackson Jr.'s perspective,
Hmm.
um, and Eazy-E. But I think that's probably been the best one that I've seen so far.
Yeah. I One that I love that came out last year is, I don't know if you got a chance to see Better Man, the one where it's the monkey
Yeah,
CGI.
I've been
Um,
wanting to see it, but I haven't had the chance.
that's my favorite one by far. That's an incredible movie. I thought it was like very ironic that a movie about starring a CGI monkey is the one that got me like the most emotional. And it's not afraid to wear its heart on its sleeve, and it does what I wish all of these biopics did, where it's not afraid to get into the nitty gritty. Like, it does not shy away. And maybe they felt confident in doing that because, this wasn't the actual guy showing himself. It was this monkey character,
It's
but
an animal that's easier to forgive and go
right.
along with rather than some,
100%.
like,
100%.
shitty guy who had a really shitty past, and now he's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So highly suggest that one. I make everyone watch that one. I recommend that one all the time. So big fan of that one.
awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that one out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to Michael. I'll take your, criticisms,
Yeah.
more than I would any other, like you said, with the Twitter, the Twitter critics.
Right. Yeah.
They are so hard on the, like, it's a solid 1 or it's a hard 5. There's
Yeah.
no nuance. There's so much more nuance in the movies and details. And just like you said, critically, you were talking about it, and it falls right there. It kind of blends in with other basic biopics, but surely you said you enjoyed it. You said it's an enjoyable movie. Probably never watch it again just because
Yeah.
of how it lies. There's a lot of movies like that. So what I'll getting into basically what this podcast
Hmm.
is that I called it Real Influences. The logo is, the Breaking Bad theme.
Yeah.
That's an influence on the podcast. Started my channel doing reviews, felt really fake, didn't feel like myself, felt like I was copying others.
Hmm.
Still absolutely love talking about movies, but I also got lonely. I don't like sitting in a room by myself
Hmm.
talking to no one.
Hmm.
Uh, So I wanted to reach out to more people just like you and try to dive deeper into y'all. Break away from movies a little bit, but still kind of stay on that topic. And I want to find out who and what has influenced you throughout your life, whether that was, mom, dad, brother, sister, whatever, friends, but also in the industry as far as content creators and actors, musicians, genres. What were some of your favorite movies growing up? You mentioned several times on your channel that you love movies. You mention it in almost every video. That's
Yeah.
why you have such a long running channel. Also, I just seen you have 6,000 subs. You're close to seven. Congrats on that.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Yeah, we're getting there.
so yeah, so for one, what were some of your favorite movies and what started your movie love when you were younger and growing up? And then who or what inspired you and influenced you to create your channel?
So movies I loved growing up. I mean, I've got the poster in the background. Raiders of the Lost Ark is still my favorite movie ever. I think it's just like the perfect movie in the sense that there is something for everyone in it. It really kind of blends together every genre. Like, of course, it's an adventure and action movie, but there's comedy, there's a little bit of horror in there. There's a romance story. So to me, that was always my number one. I think it's been my top movie ever since I really started caring about movies. I think my dad showed it to me when I was pretty young, which, might also play a little bit of a factor into it as well. Those things that we get exposed to when we're younger, but then also, an experience I share with my dad, because it's one of his favorite movies as well. So that was always one that was really big for me. I'll say the Peter Jackson version of King Kong is a huge one as well. It's one of those movies that like showed me what a blockbuster can really look like. Like
Mhm.
it was handled so well that I still think the CGI today is dwarfed in comparison by what I see in in that movie. And that's way back in 2005. It really doesn't make any sense, but those are two that were big. Trying to think other ones that I really loved growing up. I mean, there was a lot of stupid comedies that I loved. I loved
Oh
Jim
yeah.
Carrey. So like Ace Ventura, I loved Dumb and Dumber. Probably saw both of those when I was too young. Um, but you know, uh, it wasn't until later, like you could make the case that horror is my favorite genre right now. But it was later till I got into that. I think that wasn't until like middle school, high school type of stuff. I
Right.
remember the first time I saw Sinister, like it rocked me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's one, dude. I didn't understand it for a while because I didn't think it was that well crafted of a movie, but for some reason it was getting under my skin. Like after I'd watched it, it was just I was thinking about it. It was nagging at me. I couldn't figure it out. I don't know if you saw this recently. They just did some like study in some university where they hooked up a bunch of people to like machines that'll record
The
their
heart
vitals.
monitor.
Yeah. And they
Yes.
played
Yes.
all these horror movies, and Sinister from a scientific basis is the scariest movie ever made,
Which
supposedly.
which surprises me because
Me too.
I can get it. I can understand it if it's a first time watch. And as much as I'll absolutely love the movie, I think Scott Derrickson especially is just so magnificent in so many
Yeah.
ways. Ethan Hawke too, the
Mm-hmm.
character of the Bagul, the story, how actually sinister the movie is, the
Yeah.
Super 8 films. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time,
Yeah.
but I do not think it holds up in the scare factor. So the
Okay.
crowds, they don't mention this, that I wonder how many of those are first time watchers and how many
Mm-hmm.
of those people are into horror? Because if you're
Yeah.
into horror, the movie's not really, I mean, it's still it's creepy, it's not
Yeah.
scary.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that. And I'll say to give some more credence to your point, I don't think I've watched it a second time because like
Really?
middle school or high school, whenever I saw it, it really got me. And then I thought about it a lot since then, but never, I don't think, revisited it. I'm actually not. It's funny because I do so much movie stuff, and just my friends and family know I have the channel, and I'm always at the theater. People just assume that I'm like a big rewatcher. I'm not a huge rewatcher. Even when I love movies, I don't
It's
really go back to them a ton.
it's
Like if I've
hard.
seen a movie like 4 or 5 times, that's like pretty big for me. And like I've seen, I remember going to like Top Gun Maverick in the theater like 5 times. Absolutely loved that. And that was like a big deal for me because I don't rewatch that often because I'm just trying to consume so much content and like so many movies that people are saying that I need to watch and classics and like underrated gems, all that kind of stuff. So I honestly think out of a timing factor more than anything, I don't rewatch very often. But yeah, Sinister was a big one when I like kind of like got into horror a little bit later in my youth. Trying to think of other big ones. I remember Big with Tom Hanks. That was one that I loved and was terrified by the like uh fortune teller in the box that turned him big. Like when I was a kid, scared the crap out of me.
You know what's
Don't know
funny?
why.
That's one of Tom Hanks' movies I've never seen.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a
I
really
know
great
the
movie.
movie. Like, there's so many movies that if I told people that actually some of the movies I've never seen,
Yeah.
people would call me a
A
boat,
fake
and
fan. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Why delete your channel now?" Like, I've never seen 9 out of the 10 main classics.
hmm
I'm more of the deeper cut guy. Like, I
Yeah.
know so many deep cuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's great movie, and I do love going and discovering those. Like that's
Yep.
what's great to me is that now as an adult, I can watch those movies for the first time. Just
Yeah.
like you said, Raiders of the Lost Ark, never seen it.
Oh,
I have it
buddy.
on Blu-ray and I've still never seen it.
Oh, that's a must. Yeah.
But that's so interesting how you fell in love with horror towards like when you were like in your later teens,
Yeah.
growing up, and me, I fell in love with horror immediately. I think
Mm.
one of the first movies I ever watched was House of a Thousand Corpses, and I was
Mm.
like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how my dad was, but my dad was also, like, a kid when he had me, so,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a hard one to start with.
You know, it's funny you say that. I'm like been racking my brain. I think one of my first horror experiences was in high school with some friends and a sports coach. Like we were playing squash. I played like a lot of racket sports growing up. We were able to take this trip over to New Zealand because that's where the sport originated, or was just very popular. And
Mhm.
while we were there, it was a bunch of kids and like my one squash coach who was an adult and he's a character and stuff. And like we would just rent movies and watch whatever. He didn't care what we were watching. I remember I was in, oh my God, how old was I? I must have been like 13 or 14 when we watched Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie.
Ooh.
And I loved it. Like I loved it. I'm a defender of that first one. I don't jibe with the second one, but I'm a defender of that first movie. And that one was a very formative, I think, first exposure to at least the slasher genre.
Ooh, so, I wanted to kinda dive into that because I haven't been able to really talk a lot about certain movies on this channel yet.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll hear a couple of guests talk about one, and I'm like, "Damn, I wanna stop for a second and talk about it." So,
Yeah.
Halloween 1, I don't like that movie until, like, the last 10 minutes or so.
hmm
Like, the first especially when he's a kid. It even as me as a kid, like, Rob Zombie's movies, I mean, I'd been seeing Devil's Rejects and House of
Yeah.
Thousand Corpses, like, hard shit for a
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
but I was kinda used to it, then seeing that and knowing it as, like, I don't know, probably I was probably, like, 6 when I first watched it.
hmm
I did not like it, but the one thing about that movie that when I hear people defend it, one thing that I don't ever hear anybody talk about was people get into, Michael being a kid, his environment. He gave him that Texas Chainsaw Massacre. People say Leatherface is a victim of his
Yep.
environment growing
Yep.
up. He was trying to make Michael kind of the same way. And the breaking point Michael has is on Halloween night when he kills his stepdad, and then he kills his sister.
hmm
Right before he does that, the one thing he's doing is he's sitting at the table and he's sitting there and he's flicking the candy corn.
hmm
And people think he's just weird. To me, that's him losing his mind. Like,
Mm.
he is sitting there going like crazy in his head.
hmm
And the way Rob captures that with the camera, the lighting, everything about it, his DP, like everything about that scene specifically is the scariest part of that entire movie to me.
Yeah, the quiet moments, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's just him, that character work in that there's no words, there's hardly any sound except for him flicking that candy corn. To
Mhm.
me, that's what Rob is best at. I wish he would make a movie and just not write.
Yeah, no, I totally, I get that. Like, it's almost like let someone else come in and pen the script and then just do your own metal version of it, whatever you want to do, but like don't touch the dialogue. Like, I will
Yes.
admit, going so when I went back and did a whole Halloween franchise ranking this last Halloween season, and so I rewatched all the movies chronologically, and I will say that was one thing that did not hold up as well as it did when I had that formative memory of watching it for the first time when I was younger. Is first hour, some of that dialogue is rough. Like, it is like I wrote it in five. If you told me I had to write a script in 10 minutes, it was like the insults, like the banter between the family. I really think I like a lot of the action and the gore in that one. And then if someone was to challenge me on the dialogue, I'm like, yeah, you're right. You got me. I can't really defend it.
But now I don't hold anything against you for it. That's one thing
Yeah.
great about this is the different perspectives. Like you
Yeah.
said, you don't like Halloween too. I much like you, even though I am a rewatch guy, I have
Yeah.
a lot of movies I rewatch, and it's almost hard for me to see a new film and
Mm-hmm.
instead of going to like something I'm comfortable with.
Sure.
Um, but especially with like Rob Zombie's movies, they're the hardest for me to rewatch.
Mm.
And I've seen the first one within the past 5 years. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly how long, but the second one I've only seen once, and the
Mm-hmm.
one time I watched it, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I
Yeah.
thought it was way better. I think there's so much better dialogue, but I think what hurts people with that movie is that, for one, people don't care for Rob Zombie unless they're a
Mm-hmm.
Rob Zombie fan.
Yep.
Also, the dialogue is way different from what most are used to. I don't think the dialogue in that movie is near as atrocious as it is in part 1.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie to a true Halloween fan is super offensive for how he writes
Right.
Loomis,
Yeah.
for
Oh my God. Yeah. Loomis is ridiculous in that. He's like a influencer, like,
an influencer
um,
before an influencer,
yeah,
like
like he's like a masterclass guy, basically.
exactly,
Yeah.
and everything is like he's like trying to he is quite literally an amped up version of Courtney Cox's character from Scream.
Yep. No, I think that's a that's a 1-to-1 right there. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, I understand people's hate for like the Laurie Strode character in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
but just to me, honestly, I think Brad Dourif and
Mm.
Michael Myers in that movie carry it if you don't watch the director's cut.
What is your favorite Halloween movie outside of the original? Assuming that's your number one, but
See, and I don't even know because I haven't seen, admittedly, I haven't seen 2, 3, 4, or 5. But
oh, okay.
I have seen, I know the stories,
Yeah.
and I have seen 1, 6, unfortunately,
Yeah.
H2O Resurrection, and the 2018 trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, the original would be my favorite. That or H2O.
I'm an ends defender as well. It's not
I
in
lo
my
See, and I
you
like Ends. Ends would be my 3rd.
ends is my third. Yeah. I go original, then the original like sequel, Halloween 2, like 1978 or whenever it was, where he's kind of stalking the hospital. And then
Mhm.
it's I know, you know what? Then it's Halloween 2018 and then Halloween ends.
You like 18 better than Ends.
I love 18. I think it's like the thing I admire about ends is it really takes some very risky choices that I think pay off and that they plant enough seeds there throughout the movie that this whole theme of Michael Myers being so evil that he like infected the city, the town itself, and this other outcast, it kind of creeped into his life and manifested in this terrifying way. Even though Corey Cunningham isn't like that scary of a character by himself when he doesn't have the mask on, but um, I think that's such a cool idea. I understand why a lot of people don't like it, where it's like, well, why would you introduce this brand new concept at the end of the trilogy when all the marketing was Michael versus Laurie Strode? Like, that was it. So I totally understand that. That was the marketing department's failure. Like, if you take that out of it somehow and just watch it with an open mind, I think it is, in a world where people trash horror for just like rinse and recycling the same ideas, this one breaks all the rules in that regard.
See, the ends, I mean, I got my issues with it for sure.
Yeah.
Like when I seen Corey body slam Michael in the
Oh
sewer,
my god.
I promise you, I think I did piss myself a little bit in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed way too hard. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Um
Choices were
20
made.
yeah. My biggest issue with Halloween Ends is that not the Corey Cunningham story. One is the marketing, but
Mm-hmm.
and you said if you take that away, but my issue with the marketing isn't the lead up to Laurie versus Michael. I think that shit was boring anyway. Because
Mm-hmm.
bro, I'm like, damn, we've had that for three movies up to ends
Yeah.
being the fourth movie. So I was like, damn, no, I really don't even want that in the first place. But I love the single standalone side of Corey and Corey being possessed with the curse of Michael Myers, kind of
Mm-hmm.
picking up with part six and stuff. So I like that part. I don't like how Corey is like all of a sudden just cannon fodder, doesn't matter, just chopped and ended, and that's it. And
Mm-hmm.
then the last fucking what 10 minutes is the trailer. That
Mm-hmm.
was stupid. I don't like how they did that character at the end because then everything before the movie doesn't matter. I do love the dialogue work and stuff between Corey and the daughter. I forget her name. Um, I do like Lori in Ends way more than I do in Kills and in 2018. My biggest issue with 2018 is that is the dialogue. I don't like the dialogue. I like the kid with the devil costume. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like him, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the dad. I don't like Sartain, and I don't like how they introduce a bunch of great ideas, and it's one of those things. Like, do you agree with the idea that like a sequel can affect the original, but a remake can't?
Hmm. That's so tough. Um, Sorry, do you mean like affect it in the sense that it actually changes what's canon, or you mean it like maybe a remake or a sequel comes out and it affects my opinion of the original?
Yes, that.
Um, it's tough because like anything that they did with like the David Gordon Green trilogy obviously wasn't really an intention of whatever John Carpenter was doing with
Oh
the
yeah.
original Halloween. So it's tough. I would say,
Well, I wouldn't say the original. I mean, like in regards to Kills and Ends to 2018 alone.
oh, yeah. Okay. I'd be more open to exploring that as a concept just since it's the same director. I have to assume he had some kind of, plan in place. So, um I'd say yeah, I could probably think about a movie a touch differently. Like I try to keep that like church and state, try to keep that stuff separate. Um but it'd probably be silly to at least like ignore it.
I would say the Halloween 2018, I loved most of it, especially if Michael Myers was in it. Like in the shot, like any
Yeah.
scene with him was the best shit. I think it's the best Michael Myers stuff we ever had.
Yeah.
I I love the fact that like the bathroom kill
Mhm.
or him walking through Haddonfield Halloween night and the
I think that's the best
atmosphere.
scene.
Dude, it is the best Michael Myers shit we have ever had,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
And I love the tracking shot. He goes into the house, and then I remember whenever he walked into the living room and he goes to the baby, and like they actually make you think like, oh my god, he's gonna do it because he just
Everyone
killed a kid.
gasped in the theater with that.
Yes, and he didn't he
Yeah.
didn't he kill the kid before that? Like right before he goes to the baby.
I can't remember. I know in that shot it was well, the baby was part of the tracking shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he kills the mother right before that and then
Yes,
walks into the room. Do you mean the kid that she was babysitting?
right.
I can't remember when that happened, but I know there was like when her friend is trying to close the closet door and then he
Mm-hmm.
comes bursting out. I can't remember. Does he kill that kid? I know he kills the
I can't remember
babysitter,
either.
right? I'd have to go
I'm
back and watch
I'm
it.
almost positive it's an off-screen kill,
Okay.
but maybe it's not. But anyway, I don't know. I remember the baby scene. I love that. A lot of
Yeah.
the kills in the movie they don't show you. They hint at a lot of it. They show you a couple, and they're great kills. They show you the aftermath. It's great. It has kind of that seven effect to it. Um,
Mm,
but what pisses me off is that in Halloween Kills, besides the opening scene, it doesn't have a lot in it. And so the whole point was they showed you less in the first one just to make the second one seem so much more.
yeah.
But because the second one didn't deliver, it now affects how I felt about the kills in the first movie.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, and I'm not a huge kills guy. Um it's like fun. I actually enjoyed it more on a rewatch. Like when I went back to watch the franchise to do the ranking, I knew what to expect now since I'd seen it before. Like I
Mhm.
was amped for it after 2018 and went out of the theater after like pretty not deflated, but I was like, that's it kind of thing.
Right.
But now I knew like what part of the trilogy it fit into, and it was kind of just like the Carnage chapter.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it a lot more when I knew what was coming on a rewatch than I did the first time. Like watching it with fresh eyes for the first time was not impressed because it was just like a hour and a half kill montage basically with again pretty bad dialogue. Like I could,
Evil does tonight.
dude, if I never hear Evil Dies tonight for the rest of my life, it'll be too soon. Like
Yes.
it is, I couldn't stand that, and like the slam poetry stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
uh,
It's a
it's
bad movie.
yeah, it's not good. It's like, but you know, with some of those other entries in the Halloween franchise, it's not at the bottom of the barrel for me. But
I've
yeah,
heard Halloween 5, not looking forward to ever seeing it.
yeah, I think that is. I'd have to look at my ranking again, but I think that is my least favorite.
So I got a little guilty pleasure with Resurrection, but it's not enough. Like that one is still, if n- if not my least favorite, that and 6 are kind of hand in hand. But
Yeah,
Resurrection, I can still kind of have some guilty pleasure fun with it.
that's the
Haven't seen
Buster
it.
Rhymes one, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. That one's it's like it's definitely at the bottom of the barrel for me as well. I can't remember if it is that or the other one, but yeah, no, that stuff. It's like you gotta just treat that one as like a comedy at that point.
yeah. So what are some horror movies that has come out in the past couple of years, maybe, or in like in the 2020 area, or since you started your channel? What are a couple that you just absolutely love that have made, or if any, have made in like your top movies of all time?
Oh man, I'm pretty stingy about my all-time stuff, but I will say horror movies that have come out recently that I love. Um, I think Get Out is like a seminal horror movie
Yes.
for me. I think that was really like such a fresh idea, executed to perfection. Um, that's another one that I recommend to people all the time that, you know, even non-horror people, I feel like can really get a lot out of that one. Um, and you know, it's a cool story, great acting. So, and obviously like really cool directing by Jordan Peele. But
Oh yeah.
um, another one is I remember being in the theater and having an absolute blast with Barbarian. I thought that was an awesome movie, and Zach Creggers is like my guy now because I loved Weapons as well, and
Love
you know,
Weapons.
I was going to put a pin in this to talk to you about this later too because you're. I think I saw you post about something or make a video. Are you getting back into like horror gaming?
Yes, I've not that I'm getting back into it, I'm just getting into it. I'm not a
Okay,
gamer, like, I'm just now getting into my gaming phase. I
yeah,
played Last of Us 1 and 2 for the first time last year, and then this year I played Resident Evil 4 and then, Requiem. So, yeah,
yes.
I'm very new, very,
So,
very
but you're
new.
looking forward to Kreger's Resident Evil movie then?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
I can't wait for that. We'll have to talk gaming in a second too, because I'm a
yes.
Resident Evil freak.
Okay.
I love them. I'll give you some recs too of like the, you know, movies don't scare me very often. It's the games that have been getting to me recently.
'Cause you're
Um,
controlling.
Literally, it's like you're in it essentially, and I got to be the guy running away now.
Hmm.
But so, and I've got like a big TV over here with my headphones on, like I'm pitch black, like I got the whole. It's basically a sensory deprivation tank over here when I'm playing these horror games. But so I'm obviously pumped for Creggers Resident Evil. Other horror movies that really. Oh, you know what? Okay, don't think I didn't see this one in a theater. Me and my buddy. I have a buddy that lives in New York now, and like he was my horror guy for a very long time. Like every weekend, we'd be getting together, watching something in the theater, or just like staying up till 3 a.m. just binging horror movies that we're finding. Um, it is a French horror movie called Raw. I don't know if you've heard of
Okay, I've
this
heard of
one.
it.
Okay, and it is by that director. I'm gonna mess up her name. It's like Julia Ducrano. Like she's a French woman, and she did Titan a couple years after that as well. I don't know if you heard of
Okay,
that one,
okay.
but um, that movie is awesome. Like it's not like scare you out of your seat horror. It's much more like gore fest, like creepy themes, that kind of stuff. Basically, I don't know if you know the plot, but it's this family is like a family of veterinarians. Like they all become vets. Like the mom, the dad, the sister, and now the youngest sister is going off to vet school.
Okay.
And basically, without giving anything away, because they love animals so much, they're huge vegetarians. And something happens to this girl while she's at vet school and starts craving raw meat. And it is incredible. The visuals are incredible. It's just like if a true auteur director wanted to make the goriest film you've ever seen. It's like an artsy, gory film.
Huh.
It is wild. It is so cool. It's just like such a cool horror movie. So that's one too that I think really kind of blew me away. It's like those ones that just give me the fresh ideas and show me something that even now, after watching so many movies, is like still surprising me.
No, Raw. I'll look into that. That seems pretty interesting. A artsy horror film. Veterinarian family or
Yeah,
what?
you
Yeah,
got it.
veterinarian family girl goes to school to become vet. Starts craving raw meat.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Hmm. That's interesting. What is your experience with Resident Evil the games? Because that's what I want to get into.
Yeah, I think I've been a huge fan of them since they kind of had their reawakening and really changed course with 7, which is Resident Evil Biohazard.
Hmm.
Um, that was the first ever one they did that was like first person. You know, usually it's
Right.
the, third person running around as like Leon Kennedy and whatnot. Um, that one was so much fun to play. Like I really think that's one of the best like revitalizations of a franchise. Not even in video games, just like in media.
Especially
Um,
after 6.
oh my god, after 5 and 6, like they're not viewed as very,
Are you a Leon
popular
guy?
entries. I'm a huge Leon guy. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a huge Leon guy. So obviously like I missed him in 7, but I
Right.
was like, all right, what's going on here? I'll give it a shot. Loved 7, loved 8 after that, continuing like the Ethan Winters story as the main character.
I heard
Um,
his character gets better. I've played parts of 7. He's a very bland, non-verbal character. I
yeah,
heard he's more of an actual character in 8. Is that true?
he's more of a character in 8, and I think more things. There's more of a plot. Like 7 is much more just, and I love it, but 7 is much more just like this
Scared.
closed bayou family kind of, you don't know what the plot is going on. Is there something supernatural? Are these guys like poisoned by something that's making them evil? What's going on? And he's just searching for his wife or girlfriend. It's kind of simple, even though crazy things obviously happen to him. But in 8 Village, it like you get dropped into like a gothic Dracula horror movie, basically. Like he's just in this, it's like werewolves and vampires, and
Ooh.
it's one of the best looking horror games I've ever seen. Like the settings are incredible. It's like you're in like Transylvania with these castles and these factories, and
I've
they've just
seen the spinning wheel, like the conveyor belt of the zombies. That looks
oh
so
yeah,
sick.
they've got so much cool stuff in that game. Like the art direction is unbelievable. Highly suggest playing those. they released the last 3 Resident Evil games as like a trilogy pack on the Nintendo Switch, and I was taking
Right.
like a super long flight to Hawaii and back, and I think I played 8 again. I hadn't finished it prior, so I played 8 from start to finish in like one session on this airplane.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. So it was like I really got back into it again because I just beat 9. So I
Mm,
was like, I need to go back and relive the glory days here. And just, you know, I already knew what was coming. So usually I want to be on just like my big ass TV, you know, immerse
yeah.
myself. But I was like, you know, it's kind of cool that I can actually bring these games with me portably. So played 8 on the plane. And I was just like, wowed all over again with the setting and the story. It's such a cool idea. It's very supernatural, very weird. Um, so I highly suggest 7. I still think might be my all-time favorite of the franchise.
Really.
It was like the first one I played, and it was just like gave me everything I was looking for from a horror standpoint. Like, don't get me wrong, the 4 remake is incredible. I think that one rocks, and I love the remake of 2 as well. I'd highly recommend playing that. And it's funny if you haven't looked at it, because I never played um, the original 2 when it came out before the remake. So
Mhm.
you should look up like what it looked like before the remake. It's hysterical. It's a whole different game.
Oh yeah, I've even played the director's cut of the first game, like the
Mm.
tank controls, the way they walk, the I forget what kind of style that's called, but like almost like the arcade style, but it's not a side scroller. It's just
It's
more.
like they call it that's like second person camera, which is
Yeah,
like that's pretty rare. Like you leave out of a room and then the camera will jump to somewhere else and stuff like that. It's so bizarre, but
I can see how horrifying that was, especially like
yeah,
you go into another room, like in the games we have now. You can see through a door, you can open a
right.
door, be ready for it. In
Hmm.
those games, you're facing yourself, and so, like,
Yep.
the camera's going backwards the whole time. So,
Yeah.
like, you go through another door, and I can see, like, the dogs in the first game or something actually scaring somebody. Um, so 7 was your first Resident Evil that you played all the way through.
Yeah.
As for me, I was so bad at I was, like, looking for a new game to give me that experience that Last of Us did. And
Yeah.
so, through the recommendation of Cody Leach constantly talking about it, all these other guys that I watched talk about it, I was like, "Damn, let me give Resident Evil 4 a try."
Hmm.
So I got that remake and then, uh, didn't love it at all.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
was hating it because
Yeah.
I got stuck. I played every day for a week,
Yeah.
2 hours a day, and could not get past the damn square, the village square, the
Oh my
first
god. I
one.
mean, that's known as like an annoying as hell part. But
It was
yeah,
so
no.
hard for me, and finally, I think I was on a live or I was, like, watching Cody play it or something, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, all you gotta do is fucking wait. You just go up to the clock tower and just wait," and I was like,
Or like
"Well,
you can even shoot the bell yourself, I think.
oh, really?
I think I heard that. I haven't done it myself, but
Oh, well." I think the farthest I got is I'm just now to the island,
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, like, chapter 3, the first of chapter 3 or
Well,
something,
if you
but
hated
yeah,
the village, what happens in the castle and the island is like there's a part in there that's making me beat my head against the wall the first time I played it. So,
it's kinda having a third, like a third act drag, and
mhm.
I've heard a lot of the games do. Requiem does not.
Yeah, I don't
It
think it
is
does.
steady, and I've
Yeah.
heard actually that part 8 doesn't, and I don't know if I think part 7 is very consistent with the gameplay 'cause there's not a lot going on besides that as for
Yeah.
what I've heard. Um, so what is your history with the Resident Evil movies? Because you mentioned your first game for Resident Evil was part 7, so you're a fairly new fan within the
Yeah.
last 10 years or so. So, have you seen the other movies? Have you went back and watched those and stuff?
I haven't seen a single one of the movies.
Really?
So I'm all game when it comes to like my fandom of it. I've just heard so many bad things. Oh, you know what? I take it back. I saw that one last one that just came out in theaters.
Welcome to Raccoon City?
Yeah, Welcome to Raccoon City, which
Uh-uh.
yeah. So I think it was one of those things where that because a new one was coming out, like that had my curiosity, and I was like, okay, if this is any good, I'll just go back and watch all of them because maybe it means I'll like them. So as you can tell, Haven't
and
gone
that's
back and
held as the
watched any of
best
them.
one.
Yeah, I
That's the
know.
bad
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't believe what are there, like 6 of them?
Yeah, there's the what's her name, Mia Djokovic or whatever,
Right. And her
but she,
husband is like the director.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I will say the first one, the second one, people are iffy on the third one. I like the third one. The fourth one's pretty good. I don't know which one's in the desert. Actually, it might be the fourth one. It's got Mike Epps in it. It starts getting closer to the games the
Mhm.
more the storyline goes on, but they're not great. They're very early 2000s cheesy action flicks. You would actually, I believe, you would get a lot of fun, especially with some of the
Mhm.
lore and stuff with it.
Yeah.
Where it gets really bad is the last, I think, like 5 and 6. The
Oh
one,
god.
the 5, and that's when like Leon comes in,
Mhm.
and you got Wesker and everything, and then you
Yeah.
got the final chapter, and it's just
You know, I will say, changing to a different franchise here, something that I just played recently that I loved and actually scared me, which, like I said, doesn't really happen that often, is the remake of Silent Hill 2. You played that?
I've played parts of it. I
Okay.
know the story. Like, I need to take my ass off the internet, dude, because everything gets spoiled for me.
Yeah.
I can avoid most horror movie trailers and new coming shit, but
Right.
anything old, it's almost pop culture references.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
telling me, Darth Vader's Luke's dad.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've played pieces of it. I'm probably the creepiest game with the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's all atmosphere. It's all atmosphere, and it's like what's crazy is the beginning stages of the game, like I don't really ever get frustrated, even if I need to bang my head against the wall. Like I don't really get frustrated. But in Silent Hill 2, the opening parts, they give you so few resources to defend yourself that they
Mhm.
like it's almost setting yourself up to die a lot, so that you're like, once you actually find a way to beat it, you're like losing your mind how pumped you are and like saving immediately. Eh,
Following the fucking map, and then everything's fucking
dude,
blocked, and then you turn
that
around and you
yes,
gotta fight
dude, and it's like they have those like leg guy creatures that,
crawlers.
dude, and they hide, like the hiding mechanic. You're like, you'll go in with your little flashlight and you'll see 3 like scurry away like little rats, and then you're like, I don't know where the hell these guys are gonna
Yep.
pop up. And they just throw so much at you at the beginning to overwhelm you that I was talking to my buddy when I was playing it, and I was like, dude, I don't know if I might be done. And I just went through it anyway, and it ended up being like an awesome horror game experience.
I was
Um,
done. I deleted it. I
well,
think I got to the guitar shop, and then I was like, "Nope,
yeah,
gone."
yeah. No, it takes a little bit to it takes someone that's not afraid to just fail over and over again. Like I'm one of those guys that I don't really care. Like, especially if I know people love it, I'm like, all right, there's got to be something here. So I'm gonna, push past it and see what happens. But that's another classic franchise where I loved that game, and I think I saw the first movie that came out in like 2004 or
Yeah,
something. And I don't
that
mind that
scared
one.
me.
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind that one. There's some cool stuff in that with like the fog and the nurses and stuff like that. And haven't seen this new one though. I'm waiting for my buddy that likes it with me, because I know it's supposed to be absolutely terrible. But
Yeah, I haven't heard the best things about it 'cause I haven't seen it either. Again,
yeah,
I don't really go to the theater a lot. I can't really
yeah,
afford to go all the time. When I do go, also, I live with my girlfriend. We hardly ever get to see each other. When we do see each other, she doesn't like being at the theater,
right,
so it's
yeah.
like really hard. Like, hey, can I go? So,
I'm gonna go to the movies right now.
I've really got to pick and choose what the hell I'm going to see.
Hmm.
Um, and she's
I feel
curious in
that.
that she don't care for horror, but she is curious in the movie and the game. So, but we might watch it.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that's so interesting about Silent Hill, I've never even seen gameplay footage of the first one. I don't even know what
Mm,
it is. But the second one, I know like the point of the fog was because the developers didn't have like the budget or something to like actually fill everything out. So they
hmm.
used the fog to kind of hide everything. I think that's really well in using your resources with what you have
Yeah, I didn't
and
know that, but that
building
makes total sense.
and it
Yeah.
builds such a great game.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, as far as me, it was so hard, so
Yeah.
I gave up. I'm gonna go back eventually.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like I said, I just played that very recently. Like I finished that like 2 weeks ago. But
Oh, wow.
um the games that I like really got me started were the two that got me started the most were Resident Evil 7 and then Alien Isolation. Like Alien Isolation rocked my world. Like that one, unbelievable with the xenomorph AI like sniffing you out in every room and it was different every time. It was that is an experience and I'm pumped that finally there was enough fan outcry that it's getting a sequel. Um but oh my god, that game, dude, still holds up. Incredible, incredible game, especially like Alien is like a top two horror movie ever for me. So obviously being able to live that out on the game so well done. I mean, that's like a dream, a nightmare, I'll say instead, a nightmare come true. And
Fan
yeah,
dream.
highly, highly recommend that one.
I love Alien. For a
Yeah.
while, I respected it more than I liked it.
Hmm.
I got it, I understood it,
Yeah.
and then I watched the sequel and fucking loved it.
Hmm.
But the more I thought about Alien, I was like, "Damn, so maybe I like that one more than I thought." So I rewatched it, and then I just watched those for the first time last year.
Yeah.
And so that one, I still don't know which one I like more, but I do think Aliens
Yeah.
has the scariest scene where the radar and them crawling through the
Oh
vents.
yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
game?
It's not really in the. You know what? There's stuff later. I don't want to. I don't want to spoil anything for you if you end up playing it. But like, I'll just say there's stuff later that happens that's similar to that moment. But like 80 to 85% of the game, it's just this one single xenomorph hunting you down constantly.
Oh,
Like
let me eat 'em then.
you're not able to kill it. Like it's one of those things where like you're given devices to try and like distract it, or maybe you'll have a little bit of fuel in your flamethrower that'll
It's a
get it
run and
away from you
hide.
enough. Yeah. So you'll like you either have to hide or you have to make sure you held enough resources that like you have the ability to, even if it comes up to you, you're able to kind of like fend it off for a second. And then maybe like get to the next part that like, you seal an airlock or something like that. And it is constantly chasing you. And it,
Dude,
it is unbelievable.
that seems like riveting and amazing. I might accept the reason I didn't even ever download it or play it was because I figured it was a lot like the Friday the 13th game or something where
Mm-mm.
there's online or something. I didn't know that. So now I'm definitely gonna have to go back and try and play that. All right, so because you haven't seen any of the previous Resident Evil films besides Welcome to Raccoon City,
Yeah.
but you are a Resident Evil fan,
Yeah.
have you played all the Resident Evil games? At
I've
least
pl-
of the main ones?
I've played in their entirety. I've played, I think, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. Um, like parts of 5 and 6, but not enough that I would say like I played them.
You haven't played Nemesis?
I have not played Nemesis. I actually forgot that they remade it and somehow like it just slipped my mind. So um
You
or 3. So I need to go and play 3. I want to check that one out, but no, I have not. Just 2, 4, sections of 5 and 6, then 7, 8, 9.
I think they're gonna be remaking if I had to guess, because that they remade the Leon story, which was
Mm-hmm.
2, um,
2 and
2,
4.
4, and then Requiem.
Yeah.
And Requiem kind of, retcons some of the stuff in the original timeline, and I think they're gonna do the same thing with the Chris and Jill story with, 1, 3, Code Veronica,
Mm-hmm.
and 5, so hopefully whenever they remake those, I will go back and play all those.
Yeah.
What are you expecting with Kreger's movie? Because from my understanding, it is like he said, and he even said he is a huge Resident Evil fan.
Yeah.
He loves the games. He hates all the movies. He's the only
Yeah.
director I've ever heard to actually shit on movies like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have faith in it, but he is still using the same world. He's using his own characters, just putting them in that world and separating them. Um, what are you expecting?
Well, it's interesting. I feel like I was expecting something a little bit different before recent reports came out that like you said, it's none of the returning characters. It's kind of all new stuff, but it's living in that world of the franchise. Um, so I think I was expecting something a little bit different or closer to a specific game experience before those reports came out, because I did see something that, like myself, so he's a man of culture and taste. His favorite game is Seven as well. And
Right.
so I saw that he said that, and that really pumped me up already. Already loving his previous two horror movies.
Yes.
Um, so what I'm expecting is a lot less clear now that I know he's really they gave him a blank check and he has carte blanche to kind of do whatever he wants. Um, I'm curious mostly what the tone is going to be, because he puts a lot of funny shit in both
Oh
Barbarian
yeah.
and Weapons. I mean, you're laughing almost the whole time that Justin Long is on screen with Barbarian, and then um, a lot of the stuff, the payoff at the end with the kids and Weapons, and the principal and his husband making that tray of like 20 hot dogs for some reason, like all these
Yeah.
weird things that happen in Weapons that are pretty funny, and the Gladys character in general. But so I'm curious if he's going to play this one just like super straight. It's just going to be scary, no frills, no comedy. I would be curious to see like what a movie he does like that would look like.
Like
Um,
his Resident Evil.
exactly. So I'm super curious. Like, I don't know what to expect. This is one of those movies where after those latest developments coming out about not really following any of the games and putting all new characters into this environment, like, I don't know what to expect, but I'm ready. I know that much.
Yeah, me too. So like me have seen most of the movies and stuff,
Yeah.
and now seeing a lot of the gameplay of the other games, even if I haven't played them, I know all the stories for the most part. I know a lot of the lore, even the lore that's not really even explored in the games. It's just like through certain notes throughout
Mm-hmm.
that takes place before the first game.
Yeah.
Um, what I love the story of the making of the games is that you have part. 1 through 4's massively loved. Uh, then 5 was controversial
Mm-hmm.
for the gameplay, and then 6 is pretty much hated across the board for most people
Yeah.
and controversial for stupid reasons. And then people doubted 7. They doubted it because it was coming after 6. Then
Mm-hmm.
they doubted it because it had nothing to do with the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do tie 7 in loosely, but
Yeah.
it's still in that world.
Yeah.
And people doubted it because it had no, you're not playing as Chris, Joel, Leon, or anything like that. So I think that Zach Creggers is so awesome that you said that 7 was his favorite, because that's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Except for this isn't, the bakers in Louisiana.
Right.
This is, I think it's a delivery driver or whatever, trying to go through Raccoon City. It's a character going from point A to point B, and he puts them in Raccoon City during Outbreak Day. So while I think it actually takes place right there with the ending of 1, the beginning of 2 or something. It's like the
Mm.
outbreak in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where he's putting this character in. That seems scary as hell.
Yeah.
That's a game concept that I've heard many people say that they want, because you have that in part 2 where you have Leon going through the city, but
Yep.
a solo character that's not a fighter, Ethan Winters in Raccoon City during Outbreak Day, that's what Zach Creggers doing.
Yeah. I mean,
And
Ethan Winters in Raccoon City on Outbreak Day is probably dead. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing concept. I fucking loved Barbarian and
Oh yeah.
Weapons. Just like you said with his humor, I can imagine his humor is not, crack wise jokes or like American Pie jokes or anything. His humor is very situational,
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
kids running through the window and shit and
Yeah.
killing Gladys. So yeah, and the guy who plays James in Weapons is the main character in Resident
Yeah. The
Evil.
druggy kid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he's a wonderful actor. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what his character is, or that style, because he's the funniest part in Weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm wondering if he brings any of that in this one.
Because there's so many laughs and Weapons where he gets in over his head when he sneaks into the house to rob it, and there's already terrible shit going on, and like the parents are on the couch awake, but not really.
He starts
Um,
talking to him.
yeah, as he's like stealing all of their shit.
Yeah.
And so you're right. He's got a lot of like really comedic parts in that, especially with the cop. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to see where this one goes. I didn't know the stuff about the delivery driver. That sounds like a very cool, simple concept.
I don't
Um,
know if that's exactly it. I just know
yeah,
I heard he was something like that, but that could be false. I just know it's a point A to point B.
I mean,
Once,
we have to be pretty close to figuring this out though, because it's about to be May. I think the movie comes out in September or something.
yes.
So there's got to be like teasers probably got to be like a week or two away at this point.
Oh yeah. Dude, and I don't even watch trailers
Yeah, me
because
either.
of. Luckily, I was young enough, didn't see the trailer, but like Sinister is infamously known for almost starting that in
Mm,
Blumhouse. That was one of the first Blumhouse movies to start spoiling trailers.
yeah.
And so I haven't seen hardly any horror trailers in the last 10 years or so. Uh, and then today, recently, like today, I watched the Clayface teaser
Hmm.
and the Evil Dead Burn teaser. Have
Hmm.
you like what?
I'm a huge Evil Dead guy.
Yes,
I actively stayed away from this teaser though. I
safe.
did watch Clayface though, just because I knew it was like a minute long, so it wasn't really going to spoil anything. I just wanted like a taste of the tone and see what it was going for there, and see some of the like practical effects that they were going to do with his gore and like his changing appearance. But I haven't seen anything for Evil Dead Burn. Um, I'm a massive Evil Dead guy. Actually, like kind of a hot take, but I think it's getting less hot as time goes on. But 2013 is my favorite of the franchise.
Oh yeah, easy,
Dude,
easy.
I love it. I think that's like one of the meanest horror movies
Mhm.
released in a very long time. And
That was my dad's, scariest movie theater experience. He was, like,
the
literally walking.
2013,
He
yeah,
went to, like, a midnight screening, like, one of the last ones around here they ever did,
yeah,
and I remember staying up really late waiting on him to get home.
yeah.
He came home, and when he was walking through the door, he was basically shitting himself, shaking.
Yeah,
And I was like, "The man who constantly watches scary movies is terrified right now."
yeah.
And he said that, yeah, it was really late and he was the only one in the theater.
Oh my
I was
god,
like, "Oh my god." But anyway,
dude.
I'm sorry.
No, no. I mean, dude, that movie is a buzzsaw of a horror movie. That's how I've always described it. It is so mean, it's nasty. It like set those records for the most amount of fake blood, and you can tell when
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes into that kicks into that last act when she's like fighting the
Practical.
demon version of herself, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Mia's a badass.
oh my god, I can't believe we haven't seen her in a movie again.
The only negative I have about Evil Dead is that what's the song by Slayer, Raining Blood or Blood Rain or
Right,
something?
right.
Whenever she's chainsawing the Deadite version of her, that song should have played.
It
It's my
should have played
only.
Raining Blood. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I saw them like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was in a big like old school metal phase. Me and my buddy used to go to shows all the time, like Slipknot, System of a Down, Asking Alexandria, like Corn, all the heavy
Yep.
hitters. Um, but yeah, so I saw that a while ago. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the 2013. Didn't see the teaser for this new one. I even really liked Evil Dead Rise. I had a lot of fun with that one. But yeah, you're not big on it.
No,
Yeah.
it's decent. I
Yeah.
would give it like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. I'm like a 4 out of 5 on that one. I really enjoyed it in a packed theater.
Great.
And I just love the concept, like happening in a high rise apartment building. I think is such a great setting.
One of the
Haven't
best title
seen
sequences.
Oh my god, the title sequence is
So
incredible for
great.
that one. Haven't seen Lee Cronin's The Mummy, so I don't know. I've seen a lot of different things from people about that one, but he made a good, in my estimation, he made a good Evil Dead movie. But yeah, I'm like Evil Dead 2013 first, and then like Evil Dead 2. They're just wicked fun movies. So I can't wait for this new one. I don't even really know the concept. Like I've kept completely away from it because that's one of those ones where I don't like. I'm just diving into it when it's released.
I was gonna go in blind, but for one, I got a couple good friends that I absolutely trust. They're not, they do all this stuff too, but they're not. in it to just get clicks or anything. You know, they're not
Right.
gonna just do something like spoil shit for nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
and then like Cody Leach is one of those guys who constantly screams about no trailers.
Yep.
And then you got, you know, his buddy Chuck. There's a bunch of people like that that I actually trust their opinions with shit like that.
Yeah.
When I seen my a couple of buddies and Cody post their trailer reactions, which they never do,
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, is the teaser safe? Like, I'm really interested. Very safe trailer.
Okay.
Very safe teaser. Like,
Okay.
it's 40 something seconds and it's just nothing but it sets the tone. Like, it's
Mhm.
just one character going throughout one room and it shows you a couple of the deadites in it and some
Okay.
crazy shit happening.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It is 40 seconds of one sequence. And
Yeah,
that
I'll
is
probably watch it just
you
because
should.
it's yeah, like you said, if Cody's watching it and stuff, that's kind of like a seal that it is fine.
Yeah,
Like if
it's
he's
safe.
posting about it. So yeah, no, maybe I'll watch it. That's one that's very high on my list, obviously. Like I've really not enjoyed horror this year. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of 2026 movies that I don't like. Like, I don't think I've given anything above 3 stars. The only thing that I've given above 3 stars for horror, which is even then not really horror, but is Send Help, which has like a couple horror
Yes.
elements in it, but I wouldn't really say that that's a horror
It's a
movie.
bloody thriller.
Yeah, it's a bloody thriller. And everything else is pretty low. Like, I think my highest rated legitimate horror movie this year is like Primate. And
I haven't even seen it.
yeah, it's all right, but it's like that Psycho Killer, Scream 7, all that stuff, like didn't like any of it.
Psycho
So
Killer was in my most anticipated
I'm so sorry.
because the trailer,
The trailer
dude,
was good.
the trailer is the only movie trailer that actually scared me.
Yeah, and it's written by the guy that did 7. I love 7. So
Yes, and I thought that's what it was gonna be. I thought it was
we
just gonna
all did,
be
man.
I thought it was gonna be basically 7 if it showed shit.
It got you, brother. It got all of us too. You know,
It
everyone
broke my
saw the
heart.
tagline written by the guy that wrote 7, and we were all like, "Yeah, I'll sign up for that easily every day of the week and twice on Sundays." And then,
Just broke
yeah,
everyone's heart.
yeah, it was trash. It was trash.
Dude,
I very rarely say that. It was like a 1 star for me. It was really not good, unfortunately.
I don't even talk I try not to talk about it 'cause that talk about expectations.
Yeah,
That one is, like, one of the only movies that, like, I legit almost cried like, after watching it, I was like, "W that's gotta be fake. That
such a
didn't
letdown.
happen."
Yeah,
Oh, anyway, real quick,
yeah.
so talking about this year, there's so many things that have tied this conversation in together, going from everything from, like, Resident Evil to Evil Dead, then
Hmm.
you mentioned Send Help, which is also Sam Raimi who started Evil Dead,
Yeah.
um now tying into what's coming out later this year, Spider-Man: Brand New Day,
Mm.
and Sam Raimi making the first Spider-Man trilogy. Are you a Spider-Man fan? And if so, which one's like one of your favorites, and what do you think about this new one coming out?
Dude, I love those first 2 Raimi movies. Like, I am obsessed with Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Tobey
Why not
Maguire.
3?
3, I have a love-hate. Like, that's one of those ones where I was in the theater so hyped up for it, didn't click for me, and that one, like, really like, I was at the point where I was a kid, just coming out of that stage where I thought, every movie was awesome, basically.
Yeah.
And that one to me was not awesome. And so that left like a pretty big impression. Like, I was pretty annoyed leaving the theater for that one. I've softened on it over time. Um, like, I'll watch it, no problem. And it's a good hang because there's like pretty funny stuff. And obviously any of the Bully Maguire stuff, like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
eating right up. But those first 2 movies I think are incredible. I still think a case can be made that Spider-Man 2 is like the best superhero movie ever made.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like that and like Captain America Winter Soldier for me. But yeah, love Spider-Man, love those Raimi movies. I mean, I'm hit or miss on the Andrew Garfield ones. I liked his first one. TASM 2, like, I
Oh, come
agree. Well, I agree with what people. Do you like that one?
I love it, dude.
Dude, and you're gonna have to tell me why in a second,
Okay.
but I will say I think Andrew Garfield is like he's the best, like I don't even know. I think he's the best like Peter Parker. I think that Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man when in costume. I think Tom
Okay.
Holland is an all right combination of both, which is why it works. But like I think TASM 2, it was kind of ambitious. Didn't really work for me. Too many villains and some other stuff going on. I do think it probably still has like the best web slinging that we've ever seen in a movie. I think some of those
Yes.
shots are like absolutely incredible. I like I love the Andrew Garfield casting of that character. I just didn't love the execution, unfortunately. But I want to hear why. What's the love relationship here with TASM 2?
One thing that I want to say, like going to what you said with the ranking them by who's who.
Yeah.
So like I'm actually kind of the opposite, and I honestly to say Kevin Smith didn't frame my mind when he said a certain thing that I'll say in a second. But I think Tobey Maguire
Oh no.
is a perfect Peter Parker and a
Okay.
perfect Spider-Man for a film, for starting superhero movies,
Okay.
like for a early 2000s superhero film that literally started it all. And
Yeah.
I'll argue with anyone with that. Spider-Man and X-Men and Blade, you can argue with Blade all you want to, but no one knew that was really a comic except for the
Mhm.
comic book nerds.
Mhm.
X-Men and Spider-Man were like at the same time.
Yeah.
And so, you got to give it that credit. I think Toby is just perfect for what that universe was. Andrew
Give me the
Garfield.
butt. Give me the butt here.
Andrew Garfield is only in TASM 2
Mhm.
is the best Spider-Man on film I think we have ever gotten and think we
Okay.
will ever get.
Peter
Spider-Man in
Parker. Peter
general,
Parker as well.
no.
Okay.
Now, I love the Peter and Gwen Stacy's story. I think that is the best, like,
Like
Peter and love interest
romance. Yeah.
story in any of the films.
Mhm.
But and yeah, okay, he's a really cool Peter Parker, but Peter
Mhm.
Parker's not cool.
Right.
And something that Kevin Smith said was, "He's not a good Peter Parker because he's just too fuckable." Peter Parker is supposed to be
Right.
this nerd that can't get
That
chicks,
like
and
no one wants to talk to.
exactly.
Yeah.
This Peter Parker bagged Gwen before he was even Spider-Man.
Right. Right. It's a great point.
Now, I love it, but
Yeah.
if you're in my opinion, if you're gonna rank them by
Like
the standard.
authenticity. Yeah.
And yeah, I would say that he's a better, not that he's a bad Peter Parker, he's just a better Spider-Man than he is a
Mhm.
Peter Parker.
Mhm.
But you can't deny him and Gwen Stacy's story. That is
Mhm.
one of the best romances in I think any superhero movie ever.
Mhm.
One thing about Tobey's movies that I hate, I love Kristen Dunst.
Mhm.
I hate MJ.
Yeah. I mean, they don't
She's
make her
a
very likable.
terrible person.
Yeah, they don't make her very likable.
And TASM 2, my only complaint with that movie is I love Electro. I don't like Jamie Foxx. I don't like Max. I like
Mhm.
Jamie Foxx, but I don't like his portrayal of Max. And I think the Harry Osborn story was good. They just didn't have time to flesh it out. Had
No,
they,
just too bad because I love Dane DeHaan. I think he's a good actor.
yes,
Yeah.
I love the look of the Goblin.
Yeah. Yeah.
The look of the Goblin's
He's all messed
amazing.
up. Yeah.
The fact that his old best friend's the one who killed the woman that he loves, that's amazing.
Mhm.
I don't really care for the first TASM movie,
Mhm.
but the second one,
Which is funny because I like that one better than the second one. But
I haven't even seen it in a very long time. I need to
yeah.
rewatch it. I
Yeah.
love the punk rock shit, but even
Mhm.
as a little kid, like I was little, so like I'm 22. In 2012, I was 8,
Yeah.
and so
That's
even
crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy.
even for me, Andrew Garfield and this reboot was way too soon for me.
Mhm.
because it was literally like the announcement of Andrew Garfield and the announcement of Toby's fourth film getting canceled was like
Oh my
what
god.
4 or 5 months apart.
Dude, it was crazy. They have that. I don't know if you've seen that clip. Like they had that interview with Tobey Maguire where like someone was asking about Spider-Man 4 like days before it was supposed to kick off production, and then it was just
Hmm.
like nixed.
Like they had already done principal photography and everything, or
Yeah.
they were getting ready to set up for the fitting and the principal and
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, that shit was crazy. So I remember that appearing on Good Morning America, and then I remember it was like sometime during that school year on Good Morning America that morning before I went to school, the announcement Andrew
Hmm.
Garfield cast the spy. Huh?
Right. Yeah. So
It,
soon.
dude, it sucked.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on Tom Holland?
I like him. I think he's a combination, like a pretty good combination of both. Like
Yes,
where I think Toby has stuff that he's the best at, Andrew Garfield has stuff that he's the best at. I don't think I think that Holland is the best at any of those aspects of playing the character, but I think he's
the best
pretty good
mix.
at all of it. Yeah, I think he's pretty good at all of it, which is why it makes it work. Um, my thing is about like these kind of MCU Spider-Man movies is they get so crowded and cluttered. Like, you know, Spider-Man is out there fighting aliens in outer space and like, this, that, and the other thing. It's not very street level, which is what I love in Spider-Man stories and in the character. Um, so I loved hearing that. In my mind, I'm like, okay, no one remembers who he is in this new movie. So it's like clean slate. We're like trimming the fat a little bit, and it's going to be like he's in New York City. He's just like saving people from criminals, and it's going to be like alleyways and gangs and like that kind of stuff. Um, but I'm
Right.
back to being a little nervous just because, Punisher's in it. I love Bernthal's Punisher. But then like Hulk's in it. Apparently Daredevil's in it. Whoever Sadie Sink's playing, which is apparently Jean Grey or
Jean
something.
Grey,
So it's like, I mean, yeah, that's basically written on the wall. They're like kidding themselves if they think we don't
worst
know that.
kept secret.
But it's getting a little crowded again. And then it's like
Yeah.
there's so many villains that they've already said are in it. Like I think it's like Mr.
Scorpion,
Negative,
Boomerang,
Scorpion, yeah, Boomerang,
the Hand.
the Hand. There's so many people in it that I'm getting worried again. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, like it's a Spider-Man movie. I'm obviously like all bias aside, I'm obviously pumped for it. It's gonna make $1 billion, and like it's everyone loves the character for a
It,
reason. So
this might be the first superhero movie to. Oh, I would almost guarantee it's going to make close to 2 billion
yeah,
opening weekend.
in the first weekend,
Or no, not weekend, week. Like in the
yeah,
first opening week, it
it's gonna make
might
a ton of
make
cash. It's gonna make
domestically, like
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Um,
It's gonna be a hard ticket to get, honestly.
I think when it first came out, for one, I think if you want to be like legit, I think the best on-screen portrayal of Spider-Man we ever got was in Civil War.
Mm. Yeah,
If
no,
you're
I
talking
I
about
like
it
that.
like
Yeah,
very accurately to what the comics,
yeah,
but again, what I still stand hard on having to. Tom Holland's iteration of Spider-Man, when they first came out, I really did love the movies, but they don't.
you did love it.
I did,
Yeah,
but they don't age well at
mm-hmm.
all. And even if that's me, like growing up with them and then maturing, and that's
Yeah,
they're at the later half, so I don't have all that nostalgia with them. And I'm not jumping on a bandwagon or picking on them or anything, because here recently, it's like people love a movie and then like a year
oh
later
my
they hate
god,
it.
dude, it's exhausting.
Very.
Yeah,
And I'm not doing that. I'm not jumping on Tom Holland hate, but I've never really cared for his movies after watching them a second time.
yeah.
No Way Home is the best, but I would
Mm-hmm.
say it's hard to say it's not because of
Oh, it's
what
just like
happens.
complete nostalgia explosion. Yeah, no, it's completely that. So it's like I don't think he's put out an awesome Superman movie that's completely on his shoulders yet.
Right.
And like I liked Homecoming, um, and then didn't really like Far From Home that much.
Yeah.
Obviously, I really liked No Way Home because it was just like what a theater experience that was.
Yeah.
Um,
The experience of that one is really what's holding it.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like I want just like a soup to nuts solo Spider-Man movie. And it's like you look at Homecoming, you look at Far From Home, you look at No Way Home is the biggest example of this. Like he's never on his own. Like Far From Home was basically
Yeah.
like an Iron Man team up movie. I mean, Homecoming, if I said that, was an Iron
Mm-hmm.
Man team up movie. Far From Home, I mean, there's a lot of cast of characters running around with like Nick Fury and stuff, but like even though he's not a hero, it's basically a team up with Mysterio. And I love Jake
Mm-hmm.
Gyllenhaal. He could,
Do
he
no
carries,
wrong.
yeah, literally do no wrong. And then No Way Home, we know how that went. It's like when he's not kind of buddy buddy with Doctor Strange, you have every iteration of Spider-Man on screen with him. So
Including Doc Ock. Like
and
Doc
Goblin.
Ock. Yeah, and it's like and I will say, No Way Home, that's not really a bad hit on that one because they did the impossible with a Spider-Man movie. That movie is the most overstuffed Spider-Man movie, and it
Mhm.
works better than almost all the overstuffed ones.
Yeah, no, I
And
agree.
it still holds strong. Like I would still give it now, like probably a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
It is my favorite of that trilogy.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping they do with this one, and you can almost take everything I say with what I hope they do, and they do it, and it can be complete shit depending on how they do it.
Right.
So like, and also, if I'm not mistaken, this one is more Sony produced, right? Like Sony's making this one.
I think so.
Okay. MCU does great with multiple characters.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple character university is kind of the other version of MCU. You got Marvel Cinematic
Right.
Universe. So they do good with that. Sony does not.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 3, TASM 2, Avengers, everything else.
Yeah.
This being Sony, all the amount of characters and casting they have, I'm hoping they learn the right lessons and Boomerang, all the other enemies that Spider-Man has are going to be flashbacks,
Yeah,
like
or like a
kind of like a
montage scene.
catch up,
Yeah.
a montage, cool as hell montage.
Yeah.
And I hope that the Hulk is not the Hulk. I hope it's just Bruce Banner and he's there to give kind of a first step. And then we actually get to see the science side of Peter Parker alone
Yeah.
and no one telling him the answers. Like, I want to see that side of him. He's a smart character. Why isn't he showing it? You
Yeah.
know, I hope Bruce Banner's in this movie no more than what he is in the trailer. If he is in it more, I hope it's no more than like Dr. Connors in Spider-Man 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a supporting character that's not helping Peter Parker, not babysitting.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I still don't know who the villain is. I got so many mixed emotions about it, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't most excited for it.
Oh yeah. No, I'll be there the second I can see it for sure.
The last thing I want to talk about really quick, and then I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Have you seen are you looking forward to this Scary Movie 6 movie?
Yeah, so it's like I'm trying to think when they first came out, when did the first one come out? Was that in the 90s?
2000?
2000.
Maybe.
It was one of those things where like I enjoyed what I saw of them, but I think because I didn't become a horror fan until like middle school or high school, a lot of those references were wasted on me. Like I think I would have I'll probably enjoy them a lot more. Like if I do like a crazy binge before this new one, just for the hell of it, I'm sure I'll enjoy them a lot more. But I do like the parts that I remember of like 3 and 4, I think specifically. I remember like getting a kick out of them and they like weren't very PC. They were very like off the wall. No topic was out of bounds basically. So I got a kick out of like some of the scenes. It had like good moments. I don't know if I would love the whole movie, while I'm watching it and whatnot. But it's not, I'll just say this, the new one's not on like my most anticipated list or anything, but I know a lot of people are hyped up for it, so I hope it's good. And like I've said for a while now, if there's any genre of film that's on life support the most, it's been comedy for like a decade, maybe even 15 years.
Yes.
Like everything's sanitized. No one wants to offend anyone. And then like anything that hits in a new comedy movie is because they like ripped the gag from a previous comedy movie that was like much better. better. So I don't have high hopes when it comes to comedy in the next, year of everything that's coming out. I remember I liked like the Liam Neeson's Naked Gun last year. I thought that was pretty funny. That was the first time in a long
That one was
time.
shockingly good.
Yeah, I was laughing a lot in the theater during that one. But I'm not like super pumped for this, but I'm gonna see it. Are you excited for that one or?
Very. It
Oh,
is in my
okay.
most anticipated. I grew up
Yeah.
watching the weigh-ins and everything,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I grew up watching horror. Uh, and so like when I watched it, I did kind of get a lot of the references,
Yeah.
um, especially the first two. And there are funny moments in 3 and 4. I think the opening of 5 is pretty funny with Snoop Dogg and Mac Miller.
Mm-hmm.
5 is actually probably the only movie I would actually call a terrible movie out of all of them.
Okay. All right.
3 and 4 have hilarious moments. There's no congruent story. There's no story at all really through any of them, except for 1 and 2. There is kind of a story in those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so this kind of being the part 3 that we should have gotten to the first
Mm.
2,
Mm.
I am excited for that.
Yeah.
Like you said, comedy is starving. I don't think we've had a funny
It's
comedy
so
since
bad.
We're the Millers and Ted 2.
Mm-hmm.
Were like the only real comedies. Naked Gun is probably the most recent one, and it
Yeah.
doesn't even it's not even
Doesn't
close
hold a
to those.
candle. Yeah.
So, yeah, Naked Gun gives me hope,
Yeah.
but in the weigh-ins coming back, I'm scared that Keenan isn't directing.
Mm.
He directed the first 2. The guy who's
Did he?
directing the
Wait, Keenan Thompson?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Weigh-ins.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
They're
was like,
the
hold on,
oldest
because I know
brother.
because I saw Keenan Thompson is in the new one too, and I was
Oh,
like, wait a
yeah, the
second, is
Michael
there a connection?
Jackson teaser.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a sec.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, yeah, it was
That
it
and
was
see,
the Wayans
and
brothers.
I had a lot of faith, and then that Michael teaser trailer for Scary Movie 6, I actually did not like at all. I
Yeah,
thought that was bad.
yeah, it didn't really land,
I don't think
unfortunately.
that's in the movie.
Yeah,
I
I
think
hope
that was
not. I
just
think it
the
was just like a
promotion.
topical promo,
Yeah,
Let's
but,
hope.
I mean, this one looks balls to the wall, but for one, I hope they don't show the best jokes in the trailer.
Yeah, which is
And
always a possibility.
the Scary Movies always took it far, but not for taking it for sake. They always took it far to be funny.
Yeah.
This one almost seems like they're trying to, like, punch you in the
Mm.
face with it.
Mhm.
It doesn't give me much hope
Mhm.
at all. So
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I remember I need to go back and rewatch the old ones because I remember stuff like seeing the clips later on when they were making fun of like The Grudge and The Ring and War of the Worlds. Like that was some of the best stuff. Like I remember laughing pretty hard at that stuff.
That's,
But
3 and 4.
yeah. So I gotta go back and rewatch some of that stuff just because I know people do love them and people are excited for this new one for a reason. It like I said, it's not super high up on my list, but I'm definitely gonna see it.
I think you would actually be more excited for it if you were to go back and rewatch them, 'cause you said
Yeah.
you haven't seen them in a very long time,
Yeah. I bet I
and
would.
a lot of movies they're all referencing you hadn't seen yet, and
Yeah.
so I think now you would definitely find a lot more humor. Like there's
Yeah.
a I don't even know if you remember, but like they kind of do the I don't know what you did last summer in the first movie. It was that in Scream.
I remember because like there was a joke, like they really played into the fact that the guy was like standing out of the convertible drinking and like pouring it all over his buddy and then like knocked the guy out with the boot or something.
I don't quite remember exactly how it goes. It's been a while for me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something like that. And one guy
Yeah.
picks up the boot and they're like, "Oh, I found the boot." And then one guy screams, "Where's the foot?"
Right.
Just
I do remember that.
that
Yeah.
tone, I
Yeah.
thought it was brilliant.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Dude, I've had you on here for a while. This has actually been the longest one I've ran so far. So I appreciate you being patient with me. I've had a
Yeah.
lot of screw ups.
No, dude, it happens with this live format.
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get better at it. I will get better as I go. I'm trying to go off the cuff. Seems more
Yeah.
natural. Like if I went by what I did in my first episode, we wouldn't have dove into Resident Evil
Dude,
probably.
it is tough. I mean, dude, you're preaching to the choir. Like, I am someone that loves scripting stuff out and like having my thoughts ready to go. Like, for the longest time, every single one of my movie reviews, like everything was written out. Like I wrote everything. I just like doing that because I was like a perfectionist and want everything to, I don't want to forget anything or miss any details. So it's like
Right.
starting in 2026, I've just gone like, I'm not writing anything, just like off the cuff now and stuff. And like you said, it really brings back kind of like the authentic and like natural factor, which I think
Yeah.
the audiences crave. So it's kind of what I've tried to get back to doing.
Right, and I hope a lot of your audience sees this, but definitely, you know, but anyone who watches this will majority be your audience. I'm just too
Yeah.
small right now. So I really, really appreciate you coming on and doing this for me. I appreciate all the support you've given me, and
Yeah, dude, of course.
dude, I've watched you for a while. I love your channel. I love everything you do. I love the in your bio on Twitter also the I got kicked out of a Kevin Hart movie once or something.
I was in one. I was in one. I got cut out of it.
Right, I
Yeah,
think it
I got
was I
cut
think
out
you
of it.
said it was a Central Intelligence
It was, yes, yeah.
in the bleachers.
Good memory. Yeah, yeah. And I had like a close up. Like
Yeah.
they this guy, the director, I think his name was like Rawson Thurber or something like that. He picked me out of the crowd and was like, come down here. And I sat right next to the Kevin Hart love interest. And I was like, this is incredible. Like I'm legitimately gonna
Money
be
shot.
money shot. Like I was gonna be the same size as her up on the big screen. Told everybody I knew about it. Went to go see it opening night. Completely cut out. Like complete. Like you could still when it's all zoomed out and it's the massive bleachers, I could point out and tell you where I am. But the my 10 seconds of fame was unfortunately on the cutting room floor there.
That's so funny. It kinda reminds me of, you know, in the old Teen Wolf movie with Michael J. Fox,
Hmm.
the old thing where the guy in the bleachers in the back at the end, he, like, pulls his pants down, and if you watch the movie, you can actually see everything.
I didn't know that, I don't think.
What?
I don't think I knew that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a guy, like, pants himself, and it like, they left it in. It's in the corner, dude. He's sitting in the
That
bleachers, and it's
is
just nothing but good.
crazy. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love the stuff you can catch like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyways, if people whoever's watching this, if you don't know who this wonderful guy is, go sub, go like and everything, watch his videos. Great content, great commentary. He knows a lot more about movies than I do. That's why I stopped. And so again, I appreciate you coming on. I will leave all your links down in the description below. Is there anything you got coming up? Because this will be coming out uh this coming up Wednesday,
Hmm.
Tuesday on Spotify, Wednesday on YouTube.
Hmm.
So what do you have coming out between then?
I don't know. Nothing too crazy, I don't think. It's going to be the week after this releases, but I've been waiting for this because of all the hype that I've been seeing around it. I'm sure you've seen the hype too, especially since you're a Cody Leach guy, and I know he's been talking about this one a lot. I finally got the press invite for Obsession, so I
Yes,
cannot
yes,
wait. I'm seeing
yes.
that, I think, on like Cinco de Mayo or something is when I'm seeing that. Um, Super pumped up for that. So I'll have a review out for that after. I think like the week of the 5th or whatnot. But other than that, it's kind of just like whatever movies come up in the meantime. I'm sure I'll toss a review out there. I at least do like one video a week. I kind of keep it to that for my own sanity. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, looking forward to a lot of the horror releases later this year, which I can't wait for. But yeah, dude, no, I really appreciate you bringing me on here. Kind of at the start of this, I've loved watching kind of like the evolution of your channel, and I think like
I
the
appreciate it.
conversational part is awesome. I've thought about doing it myself. I just think it's like a really cool way to get to know people and just have
Go
these
for it.
conversations and like it even brings up topics that I probably wouldn't have even thought to cover or touch on in a video.
Exactly.
So, I
And
love the
then
conversational style. Yeah.
I really appreciate it, man. I hope you have a wonderful night. I would love to have you back on the channel. Maybe even when Obsession or like Rivals of
Yeah.
AMC King, which I'm
Yeah.
super excited to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
when
That's
those
that's
come
one
out.
on my list too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So all right, dude. Well, we'll talk again later. I really appreciate it. Everyone, if you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe. Again, Tuesdays on Spotify. So go follow me there if you want them early. That is audio and video, and YouTube on Wednesdays. So thank you. Thanks, everyone. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah. Thank you.